Hello and welcome everyone to the first ever live Bunnies on BZCast. I don't know if you guys can see me right now. I'm trying to set up my phone over there, kind of in a makeshift way between some boxes, but I think you guys can see me for the most part. First ever live broadcast on our live Bunnies on BZCast through Periscope. Our past Periscope broadcasts have gone 25-30 minutes in the past, so I'm crossing my fingers that it keeps recording the whole time. As take another peek, and yeah, it's recording. We're live. Recording also on my laptop here. This is how I record it. Like I said, it's makeshift. There's no studio or anything. I got my external microphone right here going. Laptop recording. I send it to Kedzi Rivera. She is my post-production team, my one-woman post-production team. She does a great job. So, Bunnies on BZCast, the official podcast of bunniesine.com. Check out our current issue, the November issue. It's the great issue on the disabled buns, and the holidays are right around the corner, and that also means December 1st is right around the corner. Holidays as in Thanksgiving, Black Friday, if you consider Black Friday a holiday. If you guys are watching through the Periscope thing, through a Periscope account, I won't be able to actually see if you guys leave any comments or anything. It's recording through my phone, and I can't see the phone screen, the other side of what's recording. So I apologize that I can't, respond to you guys like this. I could just hold my phone over the laptop, but it would just be too much. I apologize. The heat has just kicked on in the house. It's like 25 degrees here in Illinois, so the heat's going to be kicking on and off. I'll try to speak up so you guys can all hear me, my phone and the external microphone. If you're just tuning in, again, because people can be tuning in and out. This is the first ever live broadcast that's recorded on Periscope. And also, like I said, being recorded on my laptop here. We will release this on, I will upload it Thursday morning on Thanksgiving. So if you happen to miss some of this or, catch some of it and, whatever, it will be released on YouTube.com, Soundcloud.com, and iTunes in the podcast section. Just search Bunnies on BZCast. Make sure you guys subscribe. Going back to the issues, our monthly issue, make sure you download and read November's issue on Disabled Buns. It's a really awesome issue. December 1st will be an awesome Christmas/holiday issue. So be sure to download that December 1st. Look out for that. So earlier in the week, Monday, I believe, I did a Facebook post, Instagram, Twitter, for questions that you guys have asked for me about certain discussions, talking points. I wanted to get someone else to join me in the show, but the reason I haven't been able to do Periscope and other more podcasts lately is that it's just gotten pretty busy with trying to squeeze stuff in at night, to where even after I get off work in the afternoon, I'm still pretty busy. So if you're staying up late with me, I'm very happy that you've joined us, and I would like to keep doing more of these. It's also possible to do this since I don't have a guest. Usually my guest is talking with me on the cell phone, so if I'm flying solo like I am today, I could record these in the future. Again, going back to my post with Bunniesine, I asked about certain talking, discussion, talked about subjects in the bunny community, and that I could address. Again, I wanted to get another more experienced guest. I had a couple that were possibilities, but no one could really do a podcast recording this late at night. Which, like I said, it's almost 10:40 my time, which is Central Time. So again, the talking points, the discussion, the subjects. You could have asked any questions to me or to Bunnyzine about anything with Bunnyzine, the Bunnyzine team, or just, certain subjects, discussion subjects. I had about four questions. I didn't know much about them, so actually last night when I figured out I was going to be recording this tonight, again, I usually address the date. It is 11/22/2015. The date of this recording. Drawing a blank here for a split second. Talking points. So I did some research last night when I figured out that I was going to be recording this tonight. So my editing team, Kedzie, would have enough time to get it back to me so I could release it to you guys on Thursday. Discussion points. So I got 3 from Facebook and I got 1 from Instagram. And again, I did some research last night because I personally knew nothing about these topics, but I'm actually really glad that I did, because they're really stuff that I learned about last night when I was doing the research. I did maybe a couple of hours of just like going through different rabbit websites. Most of it is from rabbits.org, which is House Rabbit Society's website. So mostly any questions that you guys would have had for me, I would highly recommend looking through them, or Google House Rabbit Society and then maybe your talking point. And that's where I got most of my information with your guys' questions. So I'll just kick it off. Before I kick off, again, bunnyzine.com. Stay tuned for a new issue December 1st. Make sure you follow us everywhere. Like us on Facebook, Bunnyzine. Follow us on Instagram @officialbzine, and then on Instagram, official Bunnyzine. Periscope. If you have a Periscope and you're watching this from a separate link, and you have a Periscope account, follow us on Periscope. You'll get the little notification on your phone as soon as we start recording any broadcast. I always update you guys with Facebook and Twitter at least a couple of hours ahead of time. I wanted to do it like way earlier, but I wasn't exactly sure of the exact timing up until maybe 7 o'clock tonight that I was going to record this at 10:30. So, again, if you're just tuning in, you can find this and you want to listen to the first maybe 7 or 8 minutes that you might have missed. You can find this on youtube.com, soundcloud.com, and iTunes podcasts. Search Bunnyzine BZCast in any of those formats to listen to all of it. Again, this is guest free. We're on Periscope. First talking point, Monica from the actually Bunnyzine team. Her question pertained to looking at ingredients in pellets and treats. So what I found through the House Rabbit Society page is that I basically show you guys my notes here that I got going on. I'm pretty open about them, about the notes that I take. So some of the key bullet points that I wrote down, this won't probably be too long as I can't expand on them too much of this what I've written down. But so when you're looking at pellets, they should be high in fiber. Shouldn't be processed cereal kibble. Processed cereal kibble. That's just okay. I'm reading my notes wrong. So for the pellets and other treats, when it was talking about food and ingredients on the House Rabbit website, the author of this particular article was Susan Smith, PhD, of July 10th, 2011. So she went over different treats and why they might be bad, because Monica's question pertained to pellets and treats. So as far as pellets, they should be high in fiber and low in fat. Susan, the author of the article, wanted to pretty much got that across in most of her work. That's what the first thing you should look for. processed cereal kibble. That's a treat talking point that she had in her piece. People use it as a substitute for pellets when it's really not a good substitute for pellets. Again, this is going over some of the treats, and it can lead to obesity if given way too much, especially when people see it as a substitute for pellets. I think this is pronounced mucilix. Oh, let me just check something. Okay, we're still recording, just double checking that we were still recording. They are just lists that they are like the kind of treat with the seeds that list seeds that are bad for bunnies. Again, can lead to obesity, liver disease, GI stasis, and bloat. That is the mucilix treat. So again, I'm listing these treats out of what Susan listed. I know this isn't a direct answer to Monica's question, but this is just a list of treats, of different styles of treats that Susan, the author, laid out, and what to look out, and what can cause problems with your bunnies with that. Cereal / veggie blends. People apparently use these for vegetable substitutes. It says, as Susan laid out, it is not a veggie substitute. It is actually very high in sugar, and she said a lot of people don't notice that. So, again, checking your labels for fiber and sugar content and fat content. These are, throughout her piece, her article, those are some of the things that she laid out to look out for. Avoid candies and sugar. Bananas and raisins. Everyone does like to do videos of a bunny eating a banana, but she lays that out as something that only should be served not every day, but like on not a one-time occasion, but every once in a while occasion for bananas and raisins. Untreated wood is good. That's the kind of wood that you want to go to for your bunny for chewing. They get their chewing habits going, so they're not chewing on furniture and stuff on your house. And again, to the main point of her article, which again goes all the way back to Monica's question of ingredients and pellets and treats, is pay attention to the percentage of fiber and fat. I'm literally quoting her in one line from that piece. So again, that's just, Monica, I hope in some way that I answered your question. I will try to post the links to these articles, if you guys want to look into yourself on the description of our YouTube page. So I'll try to remember to do that. I saved a couple of them to my favorites page on Internet Explorer. So I'll just post those in there, and I'll put ingredients article or something, and then post the link. On to the next talking point, number 2 question on our Facebook when I posted this on Monday. Alternative, this was Joyce Cohen, and I think she's actually asked this question before, and I couldn't answer this before, and I probably don't have that great of an answer now. But I remember, Joyce, that if you're listening, you asked this question maybe a month or 2 ago when I did a solo podcast. And it was alternative treatments for aching bunnies, and she also listed it as herbal treatments. As far as a herbal side, I found a little bit, but I didn't find anything that seemed rock solid as far as trustable, notable websites. But I saw alternative treatments that vets in certain facilities, animal hospitals use that maybe that you're interested in, at least looking into for yourself. So, alternative treatments, and then there's alternative therapy. This is what different kinds of therapy that that I'm going to break these down into that you can do for your rabbits. All of these mostly pertain to rabbits not feeling well post-surgery, rabbits with, what's the word I'm looking for? Aches and pains, arthritis. One of these that I'll read off helps with bunnies to deal with a loss. As far as, a bonded pair, one passes away, it helps the one remaining deal with the pain of, which I think is awesome, because I know I'm trying, at some point I'm going to try to bond my two bunnies, but it's always one thing I'm, scared about, is that if they do become bonded, which is amazing, what happens. You hear bad stories sometimes about, the other one not making it too much longer, or just, her whole attitude and persona changes when the other one, when the bonded mate passes away. So I think that was really cool, because I never hear any treatments for that at all. You just kind of, you're there for them, and you're kind of hoping for the best. So I hope these alternative therapy treatments kind of answer your question, Joyce. The first one, I'm probably going to butcher the names of these, they're really long. Craniological stimulation, CES. Also, microcurrent electrical therapy, and little quotes, MET. These are for post-surgery, like I stated before. Decreases pain and anxiety. Helps decrease pain from arthritis. Separation anxiety, which is, like I said, with the bonded pairs passing, and separation from maybe even like a parent. And they also deal with wounds. It also decreases pain and wounds, which I think is also pretty awesome. If your bunny, you're trying to bond your two bunnies and one attacks another, or, a dog, cat, or something, or it hurts itself jumping off of something or into something. So I think that's pretty cool. And it also eases stress from head tilt, as I haven't come across it personally, but I hear a lot of stories and read a lot of stories about head tilt. I think there was a story or two, I can't think of the exact name of the bunnies, but a story or two of the head tilt in our November issue, which I think that's pretty amazing. So if any of you guys out there have a bunny that's kind of suffering from this, and maybe I'm not a vet doctor, and I would never claim to be, but and you're just taking medicine, I don't even know, liquid or some kind of small pill or something. Maybe that's not entirely working. Maybe you can ask your vet, or do some research of your own to see if anyone in your area, anyone in your state that you live in offers these kind of treatments. Maybe that can help your bunny. Going by the articles, people have said that these treatments were very effective in all of these things. So with anxiety and decreases in pain, easing arthritis, easing stress from head tilt. So it's all pretty amazing. So again, that's the stuff I just listed out. That's for the first one, cranial electrical stimulation, CES, and then microcurrent electrical therapy, MET. So maybe that's something you can ask your vet about. Maybe if he doesn't offer it himself and you think your bunny might need it, ask for his advice, see what he thinks, and maybe he could point you in a direction where you could find it and get treatment. Just something else to consider if your bunny at home is going through any of this. Cold laser therapy. Again, I don't have the details as far as what each, how your bunny hooks up, if your bunny needs, as far from what I saw and read, it didn't look like bunnies needed to be, sleeping for any of these. So I'm not 100% guaranteeing that, but it didn't look like it going by like the pictures and the descriptions. I don't exactly know how bunnies are connected to the machines that help with these. Just laying that out there. Cold laser therapy says it helps incision healing. Again, that's like surgery. Helps inflame tissue, which I think would be like muscle pulls, muscle injuries, and then helps degenerative joint disease, which that sounds pretty. Again, I don't know anything about. That sounds pretty specific. I'm assuming that that's so specific that you just have to look at that and say, if your bunny has that, then it's something to me you definitely got to look into. Everything else with easing stress and pain, your doctor might give you some kind of liquid or something for that. But as far as, I don't know, maybe there is some kind of special medicine for degenerative joint disease. But the cold laser therapy could be something you could look into. And then there was, this last one? Yeah, last one. Well, last type of therapy, not last subject. The last one was acupuncture, which I thought was really interesting. I didn't think people did acupuncture with animals, and apparently they do. If you all knew that, it's again showing you how little I know. But yeah, and there was actually a picture to a bunny that looked pretty content. I mean, it's a picture, but with a couple of the pins, like off, I think it was like the back, not the back of the head, but like back of the neck. Acupuncture, it's only a couple of bullet points that I'm going to lay out. Multiple treatments can help ease pain and mood, which that's, again, like the other therapies, seems like it'd be pretty effective. I would say off the top of my head that acupuncture, you probably would, if I had to take a guess, would find someone who did acupuncture with animals relatively easier than the other ones, because these other ones seem like maybe not special machines, but special kind of systems, special kind of machines that would be really specific. I don't know. I'm just going off that at the top of my head. Acupuncture seems like pretty normal, where I haven't heard of these other therapies. And the other one bullet point that I have for acupuncture is that it brings back feeling into legs. I didn't really lay out a specific situation for that, of bringing back feeling into legs. Maybe there's some kind of muscle injury, a healing broken bone or something. Whatever the case, that's apparently acupuncture can bring back feeling. It says specifically into the legs. So again, Joyce, I hope someone answered your question. I'm sorry I couldn't really find anything about the whole herbal part. That's something, if I have like a House Rabbit Society representative on again, I can always ask them. There's someone that I actually want to line up with, that's from HRS Chicago. My friend Jan, she's a representative of them, and she's super experienced. She's got a huge background. I want to set up like a show, or I wanted to set up this show with her. Things didn't work out, but she might be also more inclined to answer some of these questions just out of her own head, out of her own experience and knowledge. So Joyce, I hope some of these therapies, alternative treatments, alternative therapies can maybe help you out if you have a certain situation. And that goes for anyone. So Joyce, I hope I answered your question. Again, it's cranial electrical stimulation, which is like they call it CES, and then microcurrent electrical therapy, which is just, they have low quotes, MET. There's cold laser therapy and acupuncture. So again, if you feel inclined that it might help your bunny, I'd say at the very least talk to your vet about it and look into it. And then our next person was Nancy, and she asked a specific question about treatments for bee stings. She might have listed wasp stings, but I wrote bee sting treatment. House Rabbit Society didn't make it seem like it could, that the bunny wasn't in super danger unless you noticed allergic reactions. So signs of allergic reactions, that I'm just going to lay those out. This one will probably be the fastest talking point. Difficulty breathing, immense swelling. Swelling, they also, I'm just going to skip down to this part. They, going by the part, two, I'm losing track here. Okay, my two sources of this material were exoticpetvet.net and then rabbitrehome.org.uk. I'm certain that's a rescue across the pond. They had an article about this. Going back to the swelling, they said if you do not see reduced swelling from like an ice cold pack, something you would just have in your freezer. If you don't see reduced swelling, immediately bring it into the vet. If you see any shock in the bunny, definitely bring him to the vet. So basically, difficulty breathing, swelling, and progressing shock, definitely bring into the vet. I know, Nancy, you particularly asked, I remember you saying something about infection being listed on there. I personally, going by this, and from what I found, I didn't find anything listing infections. If you can get one. If I had it, personally, out of my own opinion, if I had my bunny outside and I noticed that a bee stung it, I would just immediately bring it into my vet or any open animal or exotic animal emergency hospital. That's my own personal opinion. Even if I saw some swelling go down, I think my first reaction would be grabbing the carrier, putting her in one of my, if it was any of my two buns, in the carrier and rushing to the emergency animal hospital just to make sure she's okay. I know not everyone has that ability and has like a 24-hour animal hospital near them. I mean, it's like an hour away from me, but I've gone there a couple of times for certain situations. So again, just to recap that part, watch out for signs of allergic reaction. The signs are difficulty breathing, swelling, progressing in shock, like she seems like she's going into shock and not really coming out of it. And another point that I almost skipped. Definitely see a vet if the stinger, the little bee stinger or wasp stinger, is lodged. It didn't. I would assume let the vet pull that out themselves. It didn't say whether or not it would be safe for a regular person to remove the stinger. So again, watch out for those signs of allergic reaction, and then take to the vet. Again, I would just personally take a bunny to the vet if I just saw a bee sting. If you can't take them right away, just make sure the swelling was reduced, the breathing is okay, and that your bunny is just in a normal, okay state. So that's it for Facebook. I posted this also on, like I said, on Instagram on Monday, and we did get one question from an Instagram follower of ours. Again, we're at official bunnyzine on Instagram. Her question, the answer to this question is straight out of House Rabbit Society's website. I actually immediately knew that I could find it there because I believe I read it there before. Her question, the Instagram follower was, I shouldn't say her, but the person's, because I'm not sure, but the person's question was, the Instagram follower was Bunimus Maximus. Again, that's at Bunimus Maximus. Want to introduce hay and grains, so to a rabbit as far as like age. So Bunnymus Maximus, I try to say that 1,000 times. Start here. At the 3 to 4 week mark, it's okay to introduce pellets. I believe it listed pellets, alfalfa, and I'm drawing a blank on the other one, but I didn't list the veggies yet. Between 7 weeks and 7 months, unlimited pellets and hay, for unlimited up until roughly the 7th month mark. Again, this is off of rabbit.org, rabbits.org, whatever it is, House Rabbit Society's website. At 12 weeks old, introduce vegetables, one vegetable at a time, and keep it under a half ounce or at a half ounce. I think it was under a half ounce. And then when you get to the 7-month mark and beyond, to a 1 year old, decrease pellets by a half cup, increase vegetables based on weight. So again, I'd probably consent with your vet on that one, and as far as the amount that you want to give to your bunny. And then if you do go with a no pellet diet, which, like, I've gotten forms in the past from bunny hospitals saying that you really don't have to give them pellets, like, at all. I'm not telling everyone to not give their rabbit pellets. I give my 2 bunnies here at my home Oxbow, adult rabbit Oxbow pellets. I give them a little each day. But they say if you do go with the no pellet routine diet, just increase the vegetables, so the calorie and the intake is replaced, that you would usually give with pellets is replaced with vegetables. Again, I would probably consult with your vet on the proper weights and amounts that you want to give to your rabbit, because it's different, between like a Rex or American and a Flemish Giant, which I have both here at home. So they both have different diets, different amounts of food that I give them. So again, I'll kind of recap this. Bunnymus Maximus asked us this on Instagram about when to introduce hay and pellets. 3 or 4 weeks, it's okay to introduce pellets. I'm assuming some kind of, I know Oxbow has baby bunny pellets, which I gave my bunny Nova when I first adopted her. And then, sorry, that was a weird noise outside. And then, at 7 weeks, between 7 weeks and 7 months, unlimited pellets and hay is okay. And then at 12 weeks old, it's okay to introduce vegetables, one vegetable at a time, and keep it under a half ounce. 7 months to 1 year old, in that area, decrease pellets to a half cup, increase vegetables based on weight, and then increase vegetables if no pellets. And again, I would consult with your bunny vet, on most of that stuff. But that's just a general idea. Again, that's from House Rabbit Society's website. If I ever have a question about something that I just don't know, I go to that website. That's like the bunny handbook on how to take care of certain situations, how to feed them, what to look for in their health, and etc. So that's it for the fan questions. Again, thank you guys for asking those. What was I going to say? Oh, if you guys have any ideas for the podcast, want to see as far as guests, any ideas for someone you maybe want to see on the show, any ideas about certain subjects that you guys want me to talk about and address, like I did on here, any questions for me, any questions for the Bunnyzine, about Bunnyzine or about the Bunnyzine team, you can email me. I open this email personally on my phone. bunnyzincast@gmail.com. Again, that's bunnyzincast@gmail.com. We are still looking for a sponsor of this podcast. We've been looking for 3 months now, if not longer. The cover costs of the podcast, there is some costs with the podcast, and to improve the quality of it, so I'm not even though it's been doing okay so far, sitting at a kitchen table with this little microphone that I got from Best Buy for $20. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. So again, know anyone in the company wanted to that you think might be interested in sponsorship, I have no problem. I think it'd be awesome to read, a 30-second written ad, once or twice an episode. There isn't any, for anyone who's listened to the podcast, I usually close out with a PBSA. It's my public bunny service announcement. It's usually something just out of my own personal opinion. Yeah, that's the one thing that I didn't lay out for the show. Just think of something live on the fly here. Oh, you know what? I thought my PBSA is not something out of really my own opinion, but it's more of a statement and a question to you guys. It's something that's been kind of floating through my head for the last month or so. For any of you guys who do listen to the podcast, again, you could find other podcast episodes. I would recommend that you listen to all 10 of them. This is episode 11. Again, recording this on November 22nd, 2015. You can find previous episodes at BunnyZine, BZCast, YouTube.com, Soundcloud.com, and on iTunes. As I talked about, I did my episode 9 was a tribute episode for Milo. It was mostly telling Milo's story and telling what kind of effect that he had on my life. There's one thing that outside of his passing that's bothered me was that I saw a video and it was the 10 commandments of being a bunny parent, and I think number 9 or 10, I think it was 9, was being there for him when just being there for him even when and being there for him when they they leave and go to the bridge. That's a part of Milo's passing that's always, outside of him just passing away, that's always bothered me, that he passed away at an animal hospital with just doctors and probably other locked up animals around him. Which, it just sucks. It just sucks. It's just one of those things that makes his whole passing even worse, that I couldn't physically be right next to him when he left. Try not to get too emotional on a live broadcast. But I don't know. It's just one of those things that's always bothered me. I'm sure I'm always with him and he's always with me in spirit, but it's just one of those things that's always bothered me. And so all I can say is just spend the time that you have with them, because you just don't know if you're going to get that lasting moment with them. I see it on the Bridge Bunnies page on Facebook, that people are, when they post, sometimes they do post that part about holding them right before they pass away. And so when people, it's just one of those things that kind of makes that whole situation more upsetting, that I wasn't there to be there with him when he left. when I thought like my wife and I both should have been there for him. So again, I know it's like a really, really weird and not like organized message, but it just all goes back to, I bring that point up because it just all goes back to, hey, take advantage, don't take it for granted, the time that you have with them and the time that you could spend with them, because you just don't know when or where they're gonna pass. You know, it's nature. It's, you know, if you're religious, it's God. It's out of, either way, it's out of your control, really. I mean, you try your best to, you know, do what's right and make sure that they're safe, happy, and healthy. But, you know, it's almost, if you believe in destiny or fate, I somewhat do, it's just going to happen when it's going to happen. So again, try your best to be there for them, you know, in all phases of, you know, your companionship with your bunny rabbit. And, I'm trying to think of how the phrase is. Just, like I said, just don't take the time that you have for them for granted. You adopted them and gave them a great chance, you know, and they're giving them a great life, you know. They return the favor and bring in, you know, what I usually term as awesomeness to your life, and happiness to your life. Return the favor, and, you know, keep that going. It's almost like the phrase people say is, you know, I always thought I saved my pet when I adopted them, but really they saved me. And I think that could work out with that pertains to a lot of people. I've heard a lot of people say that, you know, even bunny rabbits, that it's like completely changed their outlook and their, you know, positivity and their happiness and their outlook. And I think I already said outlook, but their outlook and how they see things on life, in a general sense. But, it could do that for you, for people watching, listening. It could do that for you. So again, don't take that time for granted. Almost 45 minutes. So, and again, for anyone that's watched, I won't see this viewership up until the Periscope process ends. Hello. Of how many people actually turned in to view this. I'm sure it's pretty low because I didn't say this up until 3 hours ago that we were doing this recording. To Monica, Joyce, Nancy, and Bunny Miss Maximus from Instagram, thank you guys for asking your questions. It was pretty cool, and I learned a good amount of stuff just researching those articles. Again, most of it, I'd say 95% of it, is from rabbits.org, as my heat is kicking on again. Again, social media pages, Bunnyzine on Facebook, at Official Bunnyzine on Instagram, and at Official Bzine on Twitter and Periscope. Make sure you guys follow us, subscribe to those podcasts, so you guys get notifications of when they're uploaded. Like when I have a YouTube account, and then I have a Bunnyzine YouTube account. I subscribe to the Bunnyzine YouTube account, and when I literally the minute I uploaded the video to YouTube, I got a little notification on my phone because I have a YouTube app on my phone saying, Bunnyzine BZCast just uploaded episode 10, Bunny Besties. That's literally the notification that came up on my phone the minute that I uploaded it. So again, if you have a SoundCloud app or account, make sure you download the app. Same thing with YouTube. You guys, if you set it up right on your phone for notification purposes, you'll get a notification as soon as we upload the video. Same thing if you have a Periscope account. Make sure you follow us on there. you get a little notification. So immediately you'll click that link on the notification on your phone, and boom, you'll be watching the broadcast of when we do Periscopes. It's probably been like nearly a month since I've done one. But again, for when we do them and you're not on social media, you'll get that little notification on your phone, tablet, whatever, saying that, hey, Bunnyzine BZCast, or Bunnyzine is at official Bzine is doing a broadcast. And then boom, you click the link and it starts. That makes it a little easier so I don't have to go on Facebook and then go to our Twitter and then find the link. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. Again, if you missed some of this, or just tuned in now, if you missed some of this, you can find this on Thanksgiving morning, Thursday. I will be uploading it Thursday morning. Literally getting up early just to upload it, then probably going back to bed to sleep in. You can find it Thursday morning on YouTube.com, Soundcloud.com, and iTunes Podcast. Again, I'm Randy with Bunnyzine.com. This is a Bunnyzine BZCast, concluding episode 11. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. December 1st, make sure you guys stay tuned. December 1st, new issue coming out, holiday / Christmas issue. Stay tuned for that, guys. Thank you for tuning in on our first live broadcast. You have a good night.